So in last lecture, we talked about salaries. Now let's talk about what do you have to offer to get the salary. It's an exchange, right? Before invention of money, it was a barter system where if you needed food, you gave something you had. And now it's the same thing in job. When you are doing a job, you are getting money for the skills you offer. So what are you supposed to offer? Different types of skills needed. Let's take a broad look at those skills. So they can generally be grouped into few major buckets. First bucket is computer science skills. As you might notice, it will contain computer science, it will also contain maths, it will also contain domain knowledge, but some bit of more skills which are a bit more nuanced than just three major categories of computer science, domain, and maths. Okay, so first bucket, computer science, obvious. Second bucket is analytics. Next bucket is data management. Next bucket is creativity, artistic thinking, design thinking, and entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship has kind of like become extremely popular, but not everyone is actually made to be an entrepreneur. Elon Musk also had said that you wouldn't want to be me, a person who is changing the world single-handedly. Even that person who is the one of the most amazing entrepreneurs you might ever see, that person said you wouldn't want to be me because how stressful and there are a lot of components here. So we will not talk more about entrepreneurship, just a few list of things, but this is interesting to know. You see, the mindset to analyze the data, it contains a few skills. Then actually managing the data, you see, if you can't find the data you have, you will not be able to do anything. So there is this blog which says, I have data, but I don't know where. So it's like, I have a lot of data, I just don't know where. And this is a very interesting blog which talks about without data management, how you can't do data science. So before doing data science, there are a lot of things as well. But this article talks about other things, different data ecosystem. So this is kind of like that important skill. You will find that in a Notion link, which we keep sharing. So you will find this link there. So let's take a look at skills which come inside each. So cloud computing is new. Programming has always been present in computer science because whatever programming you are going to do is going to generally be done for with help of cloud computing. So good miscellaneous skill to have. Then in analytics, you have stats, machine learning, predictive modeling. In data management, you have things like big data, data warehousing, business intelligence. In art and design, and there is one more component here, psychology. So psychology is also an amazing topic. Actually, in UX design, that is also comes under that. But yes, so visualization, communication, presentation. Presentation is not giving just presentation, but how the product is represented to the end users. All these things. Also looking at users, thinking about their psychology, including behavior, things for behavior. So all of these things are kind of like going to come here. Okay. So this is art and design. And then in entrepreneurship, you have this thing. So you have this four general buckets. Okay. Four general buckets in which skills are actually divided. Okay. These are skills, but there is one important thing. When you are beginning, you are not going to learn all of them. Okay, this is not a slide to scare you. When you are actually learning, probably you will just be learning data science, being how to be a data scientist. These are all you can call as complementary or accessory skills. So there is a thing called as core skill, which is your core competency. And then there is complementary thing, when combined complements your core skill. So something which complements your core skill and makes it a lot more valuable. So you see these things. Many of these things are complementary skills, and you don't need to have all of them. Someone could choose this core skill and complementary skill in data management, or someone could choose core skill in data science and complementary skill in art and design. So you choose. Actually, communication is important no matter what, and there are a few skills which are also important no matter what. This thing is actually very important to have, and it is common across. So for example, scientific mindset is very important. Scientific mindset, which is critical thinking mindset, it is a experimentation mindset. You don't know something, you find it out. If you see something which is like get rich quick scheme, you kind of like find out how is it actually working, does it make sense, because maybe out of thousands of get rich quick schemes, one of them might actually be true. Finding which is true is scientific mindset. Saying all schemes are get rich schemes, that's not scientific mindset. This is what has said by Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said in his one of his master class, saying all such things are shams is as intellectually lazy as accepting all such things at their face value. So scientific mindset is that. Actually, it is extremely important, not just in data science, even if you are learning anything else, even if you are not educated, but still you can be scientifically minded. There have been examples of people who are scientific mind have scientific mindset. So this being practical, looking at the reality, being curious is about not also thinking as is, not accepting something as is. It's about being curious, finding out more stuff, learning, thinking. This is also about business thinking. So there are two things. One is business thinking, and one is just thinking. So business thinking thinks about what's the impact. It thinks about ROI, then how it can be utilized. Because without business, nothing exists in isolation. And also creativity. Many a times the problem you can find solution in most unexpected way. Right now, I was talking about scientists. I was talking about get rich quick schemes. All of these things. This is an example of my creativity. Many people can develop their own creativity. You can develop your own creativity, and these things are much harder to learn. Okay, but once you learn them, actually it is going to be incredibly useful. These Some of these things actually count amongst the skills which Yuval Harari says are essential for future. So Yuval Harari says there are some skills which are extremely important, which you have to have if you want to survive in 2050. So this is that article. So skills which you need to succeed in 2050. What does it say? It says things like psychological resiliency, self-awareness, critical thinking. So some of the skills which are mentioned in this article, they overlap with the skills which have been mentioned here in the green part. Okay. Now there is one more article which I want to share. This article which tells you how to be best in the world at something. This is an incredibly interesting article. This says, okay, if you want to be best in the world at, let's say, one skill, you have to spend a lot of time, and your mastery of that skill is going to be extremely rare and time consuming. Okay, now this is where someone in sports is going to be come into picture. Say, let's say Rafael Nadal, Federer, or Roger Federer, depending on whoever you like. Be best in the world. It's gonna take a lifetime, a obsessive focus on one thing because you want to be best in just one. Here, the author makes a really interesting thing called as a skill stack. It is combination of skills. You actually become best in the world not at skill number 1, not at skill number 2, but at combination of them. This thing is called as a skill stack. So this is the message we had as a core skill. So have a core skill, then append it with a complementary skill and be good in that as well. And then you can choose your skill stack. You can choose the combination which you want to be become rare in. So you see the author of this thing, that author's skill stack is this: engineering, design, psychology, public speaking, and storytelling. Similarly, your skill stack could look like data science, some bit of design, a bit more of, let's say, psychology. I am interested in engineering, public speaking, storytelling, and psychology, not so much in design. So probably in design, I'm going to be, not present anywhere. So you see, you choose your skill stack, and that is how you become best in the world at that combination. And you see, you'll find this link in that Notion page as well. When you develop this thing, when you pick one thing and just focus, you can learn quite a lot. There is this article which is like completing 12 ridiculously hard challenges in 12 months. You see, there was a extremely interesting thing which this person writer was doing. Okay, he was going to spend entire month. Or there is another person called as Mike Boyd, not Bike, Mike Boyd. You can find that person on YouTube. If you search Mike Boyd on YouTube, that person has learned more than 50 skills in past 1 year. Skills which include, by singing Breaking a Glass, which operas do. I couldn't do that in a tune, but if you have seen opera, there are, singers who are, screaming at extremely high pitch. So stuff like this, or, throwing cards and slicing an apple, picking locks, doing cycle stunts, stuff like this. If you check this entire channel with more than 2 million subscribers, and it's all about learning new skills week every week. So this person learned to break glass just in a week. This person to do this thing just in a week. This person did a similar experiment, but this was on a larger scale, a month. So mastering something in a month. Let's take a look at this. One of the hardest things, easiest things to understand is portrait. Let's open that block. Okay. In the portrait, here in the first image, you will see on the left hand side how good was his drawing in the beginning. So this is not the one. Okay, this left hand side was the drawing beginning of 30 months, this at end of 30 months. So when you do a targeted study of one skill, you can go from bad to not bad. And once you go to not bad, this is what the skill stack talks about. The thing which I said about skill stack, you have to choose a core skill and a complementary skill and go to good enough or not bad level. And when you go there, that is when you are truly at a stage where you are irreplaceable. You see, worrying about the job, you will never have to do that because you have developed these things. These things take a lot of time. Okay, so these things take a lot of time, and anyone else who would have to develop that skill as the same way, then it's going to take same amount of time. So I want to conclude by saying this story, Picasso's napkin. So this story is extremely popular. Story goes that a woman, when she was eating in restaurant, she saw Picasso and she was like, "Oh, can you please paint something for me?" Picasso took a napkin. Okay, Picasso took a napkin, and using on that napkin in less than 1 minute, he drew a drawing and said, I don't know amount of money, but maybe let's call it $10,000. Then she said, the person who asked for that painting is like, $10,000? It just took you 1 minute. Picasso replied, Madam, it took me 30 years to draw this in 1 minute. You see, when we are just building some knowledge, developing knowledge is pretty quick. Developing skill is very hard. And for anyone to be as good as you, there is no shortcut to it. They will have to spend that time. So, scientific mindset, or curiosity, or thinking, or business thinking, or creativity, or communication, or presentation, all these things are skills. Even in data science, the first half, the easy part is knowledge, hard part is skill. So once you reach this skill, once you reach this skill stack, then even if AI crashes, you will still have job. So Hopefully this also clears up the fears you might have about building a career in data science, and this gives you an accurate picture about what else you could do. But just keep in mind, this thing is when you have started your career. Once you already have a foot in the door, once you have had 2 3 years of experience in data science, and you have sharpened your core skill, then you start this thing which works on the others. But in the beginning you focus on a core skill, or maybe you just choose one complementary skill like a communication, because communication is common no matter what. Or you could also choose scientific mindset, that's also very important. So I would choose, if I was choosing, thinking, scientific mindset, communication and core skill. That's for new learners. When you become get hired as data scientist, work for a few years, then you choose what is the skill stack you want to master. So please come back to this lecture at that time and decide what you want to do then, or right now you can decide what you want to do in future. But know that this is about future, this is not about right now. Right now just focus on learning the core skill.